What's going on, guys? Alright, so we got full screen going. Perfect. Crappy thumbnail. Crappy streaming. Crappy everything. Sorry about that. Getting over a cold. So, what I want to do in this video is show you guys what I personally do. I do run a website building, web hosting, graphic, all that crap. I run a internet studio, basically. What this is about, what I'm building here, the reason that I've spent 8 or 9 months doing this is because I have been building things on the internet since graduated 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25. I've been working with computers almost 14 years. I did go to school. I went to 3 different colleges. And I think the biggest issue for me was when I got into computers, the open source world was so far advanced. And I know, before GitHub was bought out by, I think, Microsoft, whatever, there were so many different things and so much code that no one even knew about. And if you really just spent time digging, you actually would never need to code again. You would just pretty much download something and run it. Now, over these past 14 years, I've made a lot of money using WordPress. A lot of money. I personally, and I'll tell you this, the reason I even got into this whole business, it's crazy. The reason I even took this path, or even started even wanting to manipulate or control a computer, was in, I think, 2010. I wanted to create a website. I had originally used GoDaddy. GoDaddy is one of the leading businesses that pours money into marketing. And they were the first host I had, and I had a simple WordPress installation. Nobody ever viewed my website. And I made the website because my brother, who runs a landscaping business, was doing affiliate marketing, and he was making money. So when he showed it to me, I went all in. And I'm the kind of person, which, as you can see 14 years later, when I see a problem, or if I see something that could benefit me or my family or anyone, I jump straight in. I unfortunately don't have a gauge, and it's kind of funny saying that, knowing I don't have one. Hang on 1 second. Sorry about that. I am the type of person that is obsessive. And that's exactly what got me in this 14 years ago. So I had a simple WordPress website built on GoDaddy. Just one. I mean, I think it was like 2 pages. It wasn't even anything serious. And at the time, I didn't know that. But hindsight, it was crazy that I had to go through what I went through. So I installed a WordPress website. Nobody came to look at it. And this was when Google Page Speed was like really hot. Like Google Page Speed was the holy grail of if you really want to know your optimization score. And I kept failing. So did some research, kept learning, and I was in school. That what WordPress was doing, and the reason I don't want to deal with WordPress, which I have, I've dealt with WordPress even up until 2025, because now all the sites that I built that I literally could have used HTML, CSS, and JavaScript and some PHP to do the contact form, I just jumped straight in, and I built my first website for myself on WordPress and GoDaddy. Issue was, I would be looking at my website on my cell phone, which I think at the time it was 3G going into 4G, and my laptop, so I could do the responsive thing. And occasionally I would get these errors, server overload, it was always some server error. Trying to compress images, not enough resources. Me looking at the website on 3 different devices, not enough resources. Getting emails over and over. PHP is And so what happened was, every time I call, and this was before Let's Encrypt. Let's Encrypt should never die. I think Let's Encrypt should be a public service. Again, I know it is like a nonprofit or however they got to set it up, but Let's Encrypt should be something that you can't get around. And this was before all the browsers would say, oh, this site's not secure. So you could have an unsecure site and you could just go to it, no issue. Around in that time, all the browsers started to switch to where they would warn people, you don't have SSL. This site might be trying to hack your information. And you know what the sad part about that was? What they could have said was, this person can't afford SSL, and if you know them, it might be safe. It never did that. It scared the shit out of people to where they wouldn't view your website. So I go to GoDaddy, and I needed SSL because I wanted to do it right. $129 a year for a single SSL, and then it was so high for like a wild card and all this other stuff. I was like, Jesus Christ. So what I wound up doing was spending like $80 for a Komodo SSL certificate. It was the hardest thing to install, and then when I finally got it installed, all right, that problem's out the way. Every time I called GoDaddy, they would not help me, and as a hosting provider, I mean, I can understand. Like there is a really fine line between friendly and business, and they were just all business. Hey, your website ain't working because you need to upgrade to the next level. Oh, I think my son called me. Huh? It's in my closet in that thermal bag. And so I spent that money for the Komodo certificate. Shortly after that, GoDaddy was like, you need to upgrade your plan. Keep in mind, there's only 2 or 3 people looking at the website. Well, actually, it's me on 3 different devices. So I was like, dude, why is this? You need to upgrade. Did the upgrade. Same issue. They were saying like, oh, it's a shared hosting provider. You can't do this, can't do that. Okay. And it happens so frequently with GoDaddy that I said, you know what, I just don't want to. I don't want to deal with them. And the next company I went to was Arvix. Is it Arvix? I think that's what it was. Arvixe. I've tried all. Okay, so tried Ionos. This is not a personal attack or nothing against them. Ionos is the only business I know that if you run into issues, let's just say you are just now starting out, you don't really have money to invest, you just want to test, Ionos will shut off your stuff if you don't pay them. Not only will they shut it off, because that sounds fair, they will lock you out. I would not recommend anyone. I mean, again, we're talking about two different levels. We're talking about starting a business and then a business that actually has money coming in to where you don't really care about anything. I would say stay the hell away from Ionos. And that reminds me of my actual first interaction with them way before I let them host. I bought a domain from Arvix. And they had their website set up to where you kind of like the QuickBooks lawsuit, where QuickBooks was designing things to where people would spend money they didn't know or agree to things they didn't know. So it's not something that it just didn't happen. They had me somehow do an agreement for a domain name, and I can't remember the domain. It was a domain name I didn't even care about. It was just test. They built a contract on that domain name. I didn't know it was for more, because I only buy domain names I've had some domain names for 6 years, and I still just buy 1 year, And they sent me emails like, oh, you owe us XYZ for this domain. I'm like, how, dude? I only bought it for a year. I don't even deal with you guys no more. And they start sending me stuff in the mail. Stay away from Ionos. I would say stay the hell away from Ionos. Their business model is everything's a contract. Again, I don't see anything wrong with their business model. I don't. But there's certain things, like I said, if we rewind, I'm 33. If we go back to the 18, 19-year-old me, and I were to stand in another 18-year-old, 19-year-old shoes, and they're as enthusiastic about technology as I was, they're gonna run into them, and they're gonna pull the same crap with them. Linode is really, really good. I mean, the price for me it just was too high. It just was too high, and I just was kind of like, there were so many other people competing. Hostinger, I've never used them. I think they're high as all get out too. They could have changed, but the reason these people never got money from me was because in that time frame, they were on the much higher end. I mean, they were providing a service, but I mean, like, it's like, dude, I personally don't want CDNs. Because I'm just starting. Currently, OVH Cloud is where I will stay forever. I will stay with OVH Cloud forever. And prior to all of this, I had got some CS14 racks from Facebook, 5 of them. And this was before I had anyone else hosting my stuff. I had got a Cox Business Connection, highest whatever. I set up a server room in my house. It went great and everything. But my house was built by my grandfather. I mean, it's a great house. They did great. I can't say that those 5 racks burned the breaker box because it was 50 years old. But the day the breaker box burned out, I had customers, which I've always had customers, and I was like, dude, I was getting calls all that day because once it burned out, I had the city. I had to call the city to come out because I was like, dude, this could be a fire hazard. So they came out, shut down the breaker box. Had to pay $1,800 to get a whole new setup. Blah blah blah. But I went from self-hosting, which I never ran into an issue, to I think once I left from there, I went to, because GoDaddy was, all this was before that, before I got my own place. And then I think I went to DreamHost. I like DreamHost. DreamHost is really good for WordPress. But to get in contact with somebody, again, I haven't been on these websites. Once I've had these certain interactions, I never went back. And I never will go back. To get help, I think it was like $9.99 for a 10, 20-minute phone call. I was like, okay. And I was paying them like $25 because at that point, I had enough customers where it was a multi-site setup. Do not do WordPress multi-site. That is, it has its ups and, nah, I just wouldn't say do that. Let's see who else is on this list that I've already, hosting company, hosting, let's see who else. I've tried literally everyone. Now, with Amazon, I personally tried them for like, I think like 10 days. This was years ago. The setup was so crazy with their authentication years ago that I was like, dropped it. But a friend of mine, a wealthy friend of mine, he's about 65 years old. He lives about 8 houses up. He was building a web application. I'm pretty sure he's died. Rest his soul, or maybe he's in a hospital somewhere. I haven't had no way to contact him. Actually, I need to. No, I'm thinking about it. I need to do that. Actually, my phone's charging. Anyways, he was running a basic app that had like 10 users. Amazon was charging him like $1,000 something a month. Something about some scalability. This had to at least be 5 or 6, 7 years ago. He was like, dude, I'm paying like $1,000. I was like, dude, you have no users. And he was paying like $1,000 a month. I think he had a memory leak. That's the only way that's the only way to me it made sense, was there had to be, because at the time they were charging for everything. The memory, the space, the storage, the per hour, the CPU. It was crazy. It was almost like back in the 2000s when AT&T and all these other companies would do free calls after 9 p.m. They literally raked in billions ripping off people. And that's what I feel. Of course, I can't say it's a ripoff because somebody bought it, but I mean, that's crazy. And now we have unlimited everything. But there's some people who are still paying off phone bills from, you know, I remember my mom had got and I was in high school. I remember my mom had got like a $200 bill. And it was because we had downloaded like 6 ringtones before 9 p.m. So, you know, technology does evolve, but I think a lot of things are built, like a lot of things initially are built on ill gain, you know. And that might have just been the way that they had to do it. Bluehost, I haven't tried them. HostGator, I forgot. I tried them too. Don't like them. SiteGround was extremely expensive. I don't like Wix. I just don't like Wix. I personally just don't. Let's see. I already said HostGator. I just want to go through a few more. You know. So this story, you know, makes sense, or that you can kind of see where I'm coming from. Google Cloud is expensive. It's so expensive. I was using what was that? It's on the tip of my head. It's on the tip of my head. There was a hosting company that you could go through because when I had the multi-site, this was years ago, I was using WP Ultimo. WP Ultimo is like it turns it into a SaaS. turns it into a SaaS, like a SaaS product. WP Ultimo plugin. And it's really great. It's like a multi-site network type of thing. It was cool. I think I spent like $100 and something on it for a lifetime license, and then they took the lifetime license, put it on a final release, created a new WP Ultimo 2 that the lifetime license didn't cover because it was named different, or they added it to. So I stopped doing business with them. Let's see who else we got. WPM Dev was good too. Like I said, my information is 5-6 years ago. They were extremely expensive, and everything was about their plugins. So I'm telling you, I've tried all of them. Namecheap, they're good too. I only buy domain names from them. Well, I used to. I don't anymore because I don't like their setup process. You buy a domain from them, you got to type in all this excessive stuff every single time, and then they email you and verify. I didn't like all that. I tried them too. I tried them too. And then I'm gonna get to the point in just a second. Because I really got all day. So this is what it is. I'm gonna go through one last page. Tried them too. Bought some domains to them. Don't like them. I don't know what it is. I don't remember what it was I didn't like. Go through 2 more pages. 2 more pages. It's kind of like the same people. I tried them, but they had something strange. I think they had their own page builder. Yeah, site builder. Didn't work out too well. Using WordPress was better than their site builder. All right, and last page. And then I'll tell you why all it is. OVH. These folks are high as all get out. I'm not paying. Oh, they got 24/7 support now. No, I think what it is, and let me check. I just want to check because DreamHost was literally my go-to spot. I loved it, but they was charging to communicate. So I would never. I just would never go back to these specific places because they're for consumers. They're not for people who want to like build on their infrastructure. All right. So, anyways, the reason I'm telling you that is because all of that experience, all of that experience, I can only say that again, is what actually led me to build this. And I'm not saying that just so it's like, yo, you can use this and this, that, and the other. This program that I'm building right now is kind of like Base 44. They have way more resources than me. They have 20 times more resources than me. I got a video from before before ChatGPT came out and everything was machine learning. I was building bots. I'll find the video eventually, but I had literally drew all over my wall in my room to map out how the structure would be for me using speech recognition to give a command. And in the video, like I'm saying, hey, turn on the air, and then you hear my air unit pop on. And then when ChatGPT came out, I was like, oh man, dude, somebody did all the work, thank God. But this program here, and the reason I'm building it is because of everything I ever went through. Every instance of this, price changes. You can't just have a website. You got to keep updating. And none of the sites I ever had ever got any traffic. Like, that was the part that killed me. Because I'd be on the phone going, but dude, there's literally no one here. Well, it could be bots. It could be this. And you got to think, 10 years ago, the bots were not eating everything like that. But I guess the internet was just so unoptimized that they was like, well, Google bots are probably slowing your site. But anyways, this program is the 14 years of experience that I have had. It combines everything I hate about building something. It combines everything I hate about using open source softwares. to install things. For example, I had an actually successful social network, and this was like around the time Facebook like literally was hitting. Like I had grew a really, I mean, it was active and everything like that, but the code was so bulky. To make edits, you had to go in there and edit the plugin, and then if you edit the plugin, you gotta do these handlers. All the parts that I just didn't like. A lot of this stuff I did eventually do by hand, but I hated the fact that I couldn't just be like, I want to do this. I want it to look like that. And that's what this program does. It combines the 14 years of disgust for overpriced, underpowered servers, and the need to use something so bulky as WordPress. I mean, I even used, I think it was called Ghost CMS. Is that a thing? I think that's what it was called. It was like Ghost CMS. I think, wasn't that what it's called? Yeah. I used that. You had to program that. You had to do, and over the 14 years that I've been running my business, this is my business, GummyHost.com. No, I haven't trademarked it. No, I don't really give a shit. If somebody steals something, I got so many ideas. You can steal every idea I got, and I'll have another one the next day. I'll pivot. Somebody copyrights that name, takes it, steals it. I don't give a care. I'll change it to something else. It was actually many other things before that. So there's really no way to stop someone who's really just creating. So to get back on task, I built this program. I know if you watch any of the videos, I know they're extremely long because I just sit on the computer all day. I do have to reach out to some customers today for things they asked me about yesterday, but I don't work on Sundays. I built this for people who have ideas, don't have money, and just need something to show someone what they're doing. One thing I've hated about every proprietary platform was they always wanted to keep my code. They always. You'll sit there and do all this stuff, build all this great stuff, and then in the end, oh, you want your source code? $29.99. If you want this, I don't want to do that. There are so many people with excellent, amazing, great ideas that could change the world. I mean, I don't think many people look at like how simple it is to change the world. Now, it's difficult in the sense of, for example, let's just say, here's a perfect example. Evidence.org. That's a government website where people upload evidence, blah, 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 blah. Actually, let's go look at it. Let's go look at it. And let's see, is there any way to improve this? Evidence.gov. I think that's what it is. Evidence.gov. Government evidence. Forgot what they call it. Evaluation. Yeah, I guess that's something that we just have locally. But there's so many sites that you could just look at and be like, dude, here's a perfect one. Here's the perfect one for the city I live in. Macon, Georgia city website. And they might have changed it. I haven't been on here in a while. Last time we were with bulky, we just asked. No, just change that animations. Yeah, you can definitely fix this website. You could definitely look at this. This is a government website. News and information. Youth something. I mean, let's just be 100% honest. I'm not trying to prove my point. This header is straight trash. The button, too big. The menu. Why do we have a menu above a menu? Permitting, and then see, look, you go in here, let's see what this is. Permitting and license. Ooh, look at this nice little animation. Now this looks good. This is how real and honest I like to be. This looks good. The business license process. You come down. It's a lot. It's just random. Why is the landing page? Why does the landing page look like ass cheese? For my here forever. This is my city. This is ass cheese. It's ass cheese. I just don't like it. Me personally, I think it is great. Whoever did this, you did an amazing job. For me personally, the vision and mission should have been first. This is a government website. Community development block grant. It just looks, and all this crapping. So, anyways, this would be something that I could literally put. Again, all right, let me show you. And the reason this program does not work is because we have switched technology stacks. Program worked excellent when we used Python and Tinkerer. Then we had to improve it because we needed the async. We moved into Flet. Flet was too heavy. It's not really scalable. Now we're on React and Fast API. This is why you can't see it this one time. Now, if you go on my TikTok, let AI build it, you'll see the progress. Now, for example, let's just say if I was like, that government website is ass. Name of this project, making bib site. I would type in the domain. It's going to scrape everything for me. It's going to scrape the whole site as is. All of it. Then I would run over to collaboration, which again, you have to have a project to select. All the projects that I have are empty. You would sit there and say, hey, the header is trash. Resize this, redo this. The AI is going to do the changes for you. This is what I personally believe. I think people, and again, I was one of those people who sat behind a computer and not only programmed software, I set the server up. I ran the scripts. I installed. I checked the log. I have literally spent 20 days when I was first learning about computers and I learned the importance of a server. I went to what was it? It was some place up the road. It was called Computers something. It's no longer there. It's been gone for a long time. It was a huge rack server. He sold it to me maybe like $75. I spent 10 to 15 days curled over in front of that server installing ISP config from scratch, line by line by line. Never connected. And then I found out why. And it was because a residential connection does not have open ports. And that's what introduced the servers, the racks. So, I appreciate this technology. And I personally believe that I think AI is great. It's not as smart as us. If you watch my video from yesterday, which is hours long, the whole time I'm telling the AI where it's wrong at. I'm telling the AI what to look. Stop believing this hype. I wish that's what people did. I wish people didn't believe the hype so much. And I think what captures a lot of people is the image generation, the video, whatever. And they don't really understand that. I think what is a Bayesian model? I think that's the correct word. Bayesian model. This is the curl, the spiral. It's not Bayesian. What is it called? Spiral. It's a spiral model for video generation in AI. Forgot what they call it. Yeah. Oh, hang on. Let's see this. And I think I might be right. I think it is Bayesian. Because it uses a spiral to detect, and this is simplest form. if you focus on one spot, or you look at a chair or any item, your focal point is the pinpoint. There's like a spiral. How does AI video generate? I think it's Bayesian. Which I could be wrong. Generation work. What is the name of the spiral it uses to generate? I think it's Bayesian. Like I said, let's see. Actually, let's go and crack open Gemini. See, I can't find a direct answer. But I don't really care, dude. What is the name of the spiral that AI uses to generate images? I think it's Bayesian. I'm pretty sure it's Bayesian. I'm just gonna probably say some dumbass shit. I mean, here's the weird part. If somebody listening to this knows what I'm actually talking about, they'll probably be like, "Oh, he's talking about this." Look how far off AI is. Look, diffusion. That's what it is. It's called what? Let's see. How does diffusion model work? It's diffusion, and I think I could be wrong. It might be diffusion, but I think it's called. I don't know why. I just need to know. I'm the type of person. I'm not a narc. I don't have to always be right, and I think, again, we're switching over subjects. I think this is where people come up with the idea that this person might be a know-it-all. But imagine if you never say something you don't know. Called diffusion. I'm sorry, that's what it's called. So I'm assuming Bayesian. So I need to know what Bayesian is. What is the Bayesian model? Of course, it's spelled wrong. I think no one's perfect, but if someone literally thinks before they speak, they're gonna know what they don't know before they speak. So if they don't have a motive to want to be right, they're probably gonna always seem right, because they're gonna always self-correct and say they're wrong, or say I don't know. I think I was always told I don't know is the most intelligent thing you can say if you don't know. Let me see. Is the Bayesian model? I just gotta know. Bayesian model used for AI, and I think it is diffusion. I think that's what it is, used for AI image generation. I think Bayesian is like a. Let me go ahead and read it. Is a complex of probability where one event affects another. If patient smokes, it's true the probability of lung cancer goes up. So, yeah. I live a really, really, really lonely. Bayesian mathematics is the engine that makes them work. Okay. So, I mean, I guess I'm in the right wheelhouse. I don't want to read all that because, like I said, this video is long as it is already. I will be working on Klajama today. I already own the Klajama.com name. What is Klajama? Klajama is my first name and middle name mixed together. I am Claron Jamal. So, that's what is happening here. At this point, honestly, we didn't get any programming or anything kind of kicked off. Simply because, like, I like streaming this. I don't want to look at the stats. I don't log into my YouTube and see who says this, that, and the other. I Had a brand new computer yesterday that I returned because the mouse was like the size, it was like a 7 by 7, 7 inches by 7 inches square. My palms kept hitting it, and it would zoom in and stuff. So I got rid of it, and now I'm back on my old HP Stream. Which one is this? This is this computer. This computer is literally falling apart, but everything I could have just went into the about instead of picking the computer up. Yeah, let's just check about. This is my preferred computer. Nothing fancy. I got this when I was in college. Let's see. When did the... $2021. And actually, is this the one with the pearl glued to it? Yeah. Excuse me. Sorry. My other one is older than this. I have the one that came before this that doesn't have HP Stream laptop without USB-C port. About 2020. Yeah, that's about right. So it's about 4 or 5 years old, and I had another one in between that. But yeah, what I personally want to do, because like I said, only certain people have seen the version 2 built with FLET. They've seen that work. What I personally want to do, once this is done, I want to open it up. The only difference will be people have to bring their own API keys. They won't use mine because that's a cost on me. I want to open it up for free to, honestly, I think this is a far stretch. I think 100 people is a far stretch. But I want to open it up to 100 people who want to use the service. I want to figure out a way to make this lifetime thing real. For example, if let's just say 100 people, I'll even go even smaller than that. If 5 people would use this, test it, leave the feedback, help me build it. If let's just say if it's financially, they're using their own API key. The worst thing they could do is, or the worst thing I could say that I couldn't uphold, I know I couldn't uphold. If I told somebody, yo, you can make unlimited websites, unlimited storage, unlimited this for free for a lifetime just because you helped test something. But the way it's set up is you can build something and then just export it, save your source code. That's what I want. I even want if somebody comes and uses this for free, because that could be that 19-year-old me where, dude, I just don't have cash. If only I could build this idea and let me put my boots to the ground effort to push it out there, I can make some money. I want to do something like that. I don't want it to be an age thing just because somebody's young or somebody's old. But there are really people who don't have the money. They just don't. There's no age limit to going broke. There's no age limit to not having. There's no age limit to catastrophe. But what I want it to be, and I think I'm gonna do it like this. I want everybody to be able to build something for free. I want everybody to be able to get their source code for whatever they build for free. And I think that's what really changes why many companies don't do that, is because there's always that one guy who's not satisfied with the one thing that they got for free that cost someone else, and so they just go make another account, do it again, make another account, do it again. And it's not just him. There's 1,000 of them out of the million that would just abuse it. And they would abuse it to the point to where the people who I actually want to help can't no longer get. It's like Goodwill. Goodwill was cheap before people start going in there buying stuff to resell. That's what Goodwill's greed is what killed it. That's Goodwill's greed killed it. And I know that for certain because I don't spend money on a lot of different things. I don't care whether I wear a shirt. I think this jacket I'm wearing right now belonged to somebody else and they just didn't want to give it to. I don't spend money. I like to have the hammer. The nails are important, but I need the hammer to hammer the nails, because if someone else has nails and no hammer, I can charge. You see what I'm saying? And I think, and like I said, I'm all over the place, but that's what killed Goodwill. Goodwill for some reason was like, oh, they're coming in here buying this and reselling it. I wonder if Goodwill ever realizes how many people they hurt by trying to profit off shit you got for free. Like, how could you, dude, bro, I said, I don't even go to Goodwill no more. They want to be a Walmart so bad, bro. You're here to help people. If you don't want to sell shit to somebody who is going to resell it, come on, bro. I mean, like, how, like, you're Goodwill is so caught up on the people who buy their cheap shit and resell it that they completely overlook the people they actually were supposed to serve. And I can't say it's wrong for a person. Let's just say if I got $100, I go into a Goodwill, you got a brand new Xbox in there for $80. Why can't I buy it to resell it? You got it for free. I think if Goodwill backs off on its trying to compete with people who are resellers and focus back on its target market, the moms, the dads, the kids who might not even have $5 in their pocket, bro. I think, man, dude, I feel like this, bro. And this, I mean, there's no way to prove this. And I think that's what the flaw is. I feel like, let's just say, and we're completely outside of, this is how I talk. A woman comes in, or a man, it don't even matter who they are. They come in, they got kids, and they say, look, bro, I ain't got nothing. My kids start school. My life is fucked up. I made fucked up decisions. Of course, I'm fucked up, but please, they don't need to be affected by my fuck ups. Why can't they go in there for $5 and get everything they need for this? You got this shit for free, bro. You got it for free. I don't understand how you get shit for everybody, trash included, for free. And you actually, and all right, and this is where I gotta pivot. Of course, Goodwill does some other stuff behind the scenes. Of course. We're talking about the people in the community where a Goodwill exists. They not finna be, oh, I'm finna sign up for this. The people probably so busy they couldn't even fill out a piece of paper to get free money. That's how tied up life has them. But I'm finna walk in here and pay 50% less. You got this shit for free, bro. Either Goodwills need to just be a Smileys, but anyways, so kind of to repivot. That's what empowers me to want to help other people. I mean, I might live to just, I probably ain't gonna live past 55, to be honest with you. But in that little bit of span that I got, I think the thing that would make me feel the most happiest and make the 8 months that I've been working on this as a single person, like I said, Base 44, I don't know how many people they got. Bolt, I don't know how many people they got. I'm using all the AIs, paid for all of them, and they can't. So they got a lot of people. But what would satisfy me would be that I built something that brought me financial gain, but it also made it to where I can give people who don't have an opportunity. You never know, bro. Like, think about Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry's a billionaire, bro. He's a billionaire. Bro was sleeping in a car. Now let's just rewind. Let's just do the scenario. Of course, every human's flawed. So I don't care what any person does. You're not gonna find one person who ain't stole no pack of bubble gum, went in their mama's purse. Yeah, there's probably one, but they doing some other evil shit that you could, that's human. I ain't justifying it, but I'm just saying I don't think anyone's name should be brought up and you just be like, man, that person made a mistake. It is what it is. But imagine being the person who actually got Tyler Perry out of the studio, out of his car and into the studio. Imagine being that person who is the one. You're standing in line, and obviously, and I hate to judge people. There's an old dude, 58. Look outside. He's driving an electric moped that's raggedy. Put some stuff on the counter. He's digging in his pockets, and all he's doing is counting coins. Obviously, he needs some fucking help. He obviously. He did that to himself. I don't ever want to live my life like that. The day that I die, I want every memory I have in that last little breath to be, I cared about my fellow man. Yes, I made money from the people who had it, but I also gave opportunities to the ones who don't. That's my feeling. So I'm gonna kill the video right here. Come back later on, get back to it. But this isn't just something I'm programming. This is not something I'm trying to just sell, make money. This is my vision. This is my dream. This is the solution to the problem that I've always had. Sure, everyone else is going to do it too. Are they going to give you the source code? Like, I feel like this. If you sat here and typed some shit in and did all that, why would I tell you, hey man, you done spent 9 hours doing this shit. You want your source code? $19.99. Anyone who signs up for some free shit is somebody who at that point in time don't have shit. Why would I program in something that, one, wastes the person's time, gets their hopes up, and then when they get to the end of the road, hey bro, because they could work on this for a week. Sure, it's gonna cost some tokens. They going to that's why I said they're going to put in their own key. I don't ever want to build something to where in my heart I know, or I think to myself, ooh, this guy's gonna get this free account. He's gonna sit here and build his dream software, and when he's done, I'm gonna charge him. That's not in my heart, bro. It's not in my heart. But anyways, come up later on, do some actual programming, man. But like, the more I do this streaming thing, the more I realize it's not really about me entertaining anybody. It's for me. It really is for me. Because imagine, let's just say imagine it gets where I want it to be. There's the history of the story of why I built it, and then it's the reason why people couldn't, hey man, we're gonna get that guy for free and charge him, because that's not what it was built on, bro. It's not what it was built on. Man, y'all enjoy y'all's day, man. We gonna get the programming later, man. It is what it is.